What a world, did you dread on the mic? And today we got Beelzemon coming out with the Sonos. Because boy, this new advanced starter deck has really added some flavor to this deck. And let me tell you, you're going to be milling for days and getting the absolute worth. So if this video for you as I break down my ratios, tech, and all that good stuff, then stick around and enjoy. And if you are new to the channel and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and to that notification bell because I do videos on the reg, so I'm about to catch you guys out in 4K. And man, let me tell you, the 10% of people that do watch my content and that are subscribed, round of applause to you guys. But to the 89% that are just kind of watching my content and not hitting that subscription button, what are you doing? Honestly, it would do me a massive solid if you do hit that subscription button. Just means that I know that you do enjoy my content and also helps me grow as a content creator. But enough of the plugs. That's not what you're here for. You're here for all this sauce that I've got cooking up here. So what is the new starter deck providing Beelzemon? Honestly, it's making it supercharged. The amount of tech that the new deck provides is just mental and really just fleshes out the deck and makes it absolutely a delight to play. So going over to the eggs, we're still going to run with the best one in slot, which is going to be the starter deck 6 Pagumon. Really good because you can go heavy with the aggression on your Impmon, because on deletion you trash the top 2 cards of your deck. Really good for you to kind of start getting those mill effects going in order for you to get the absolute worth. Unfortunately, Yamon at the moment, I feel like that's going to be more of a BT12 egg, but in honesty, I think I probably still roll with the Pagu. To be fair, it's really solid when you combine it with the rookies that we do run at 12, starting off at your BT2 Impmon. So strong with Pagu because on deletion, trash free, which is just really good, and that's obviously from your deck. So effectively you're trashing 5, meaning that you are just increasing your range in order for you to get amazing mill effects. And then if you get the EX2 Beelzemon, then effectively you're just summoning this bad boy out, or whatever Impmon is landed in your trash from your mills. So really strong right here. We do run that at 4, no less. As a nice little spicy tech, we do run the BT6 Impmon. This is a very solid choice right here because it just adds that nice bit of recursion when you do need those core pieces. Combo it up with your Iron Mako, you can really execute some awesome plays right here because you're able to grab like your Beelzemons and also your Beelstarmon there as well, because obviously they are 7, well, one's a 7 great Demon Lord, which is Beelzemon, and then your 3 Musketeers is going to be your Beelstar, which is just really good. Obviously you've got to trash one of your cards, which, to be fair, there's great ways of recurring cards back, so you're getting your combos off in a different way from pulling stuff from trash and putting stuff on top of your deck, which is just really good, and obviously triggering your mills. So we do run that just at 1, just a nice little steady tech, just because this deck is really good at recursion. But this boy right here is going to be your EX2 Impmon running at 4. This just really executes some awesome combos, especially when it comes to your mill effects. You can just get crazy worth, and this is going to be a facilitator in order for you to essentially get over 10 cards in trash just on turn 3 or 4, which is just really solid. So when this Digimon is trashed from your deck, if it wasn't trashed from EX2 Impmon, you may, which is very important here, trash top 3 cards of your deck. So really good here that it is a nice you may. You don't have to trigger it, but you're pretty much you're gonna get the worth. You are gonna get the worth from it by doing that. Then if you go with the hard on play, then you can reveal top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Beelzemon in its name and Iron Mako from amongst them, and then place the others at the bottom of your deck, which is just really good. It means that you can kind of get your core pieces, because the Tamer is very strong in this deck. Imagine Cool Boy, but specifically for this deck, and it costs 3, and you get another card to search. So really solid right there. And then on top of that, Inheritable makes it even juicier, because while this Digimon has Beelzemon in its name, gains 3000 DP. Massive, especially if you use the Warp Beelzemon, which is going to be your BT2, correct me if I'm wrong, because that is sitting at 11. Obviously, warp into it if you have 10 or more cards in trash, meaning that you're going to be swinging for 14. Very powerful inheritable right here. You do want to be running that at a nice comfortable 4. And then the new boy in slot is going to be your start deck 14 Impmon. Really good for the nice end game, especially because when attacking, if you have 20 more cards in trash, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Beelzemon from your trash for the Digivolution cost of 3, ignoring its Digivolution requirements, which is actually really strong. We do have a lot of Beelzemons that do cost 4, so having a nice reduction on that is really good. And then some actually gain memory back depending on how many cards you got in trash, which is just once again the absolute nuts. If it couldn't get any better with some nice board control, your turn, once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon, which is just good for getting rid of some cheeky floodgates. It does happen when you versus against Bloom Lord. They have tons of floodgates, and especially when you are facing off against the infamous Dragon Fruit Pamumon, which I absolutely hate, especially being a Jessamon player. It's good to kind of get rid of that in order for you to, you know, get your mills off, get your EX2 Beelzemon, summon out an Impmon, all that fun stuff you already know. So we do run that there at 3. We did originally have it at 4, but I felt like, because it is kind of end game-ish, having a nice BT6 Impmon can just really help out at times right there, and it's a good on play there too. So that concludes for the rookies, 12. Over to the champions, we do run 8, and these are pretty much the best 2 in slot, because we're going with the Wizardmon. This is the promo, which obviously got a reprint in the starter deck. Really strong, absolutely strong, because when trash you gain a memory, and that's trash from your deck, so obviously it works well with your mills. Good interactions with your tamers. You can actually put them on top of your deck, on the deck, and obviously when you drag your mills, then you're able to get a memory. You do have that control, which is pretty awesome. And then it's inevitable when attacking, you may reveal 1 purple card from your hand and place it on the top of your deck. Once again, facilitating what I've just said is that you can literally put another Wizardmon on top of your deck, and then if you have a trash from deck effect, boom, then you can gain that 1 memory. So really good interactions that you can incorporate with this build. Really, really crazy. So we do run that at 4, definitely no less. So then we go in with the new Witchmon. This is really strong, and once again works well with the new Tamer that we do have. So when Digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Once again, really, really strong. Trigger off those mills, really accelerating your plays right there. Obviously combined with your Tamer, if you load up the right cards on top of your deck, then you could pretty much get a free Evo depending on what cards you got in your hand and what you've put on top of that. Then inheritable, whilst this Digimon has Wizard or Demon Lord in its traits, it gets 2000 DP, which once again really strong. It helps our Beelzemons kind of hit to the 14 to the 13 kind of threshold right there. Really, really strong. So definitely want to be running that at 4. I did have it at 3 originally. No, that one 8, Chief. That was not it. You want to be seeing that. At times I was like, I wish I had that in hand. Really, really strong card. Then over to the ultimate. So ultimates we do run 6. So we go in with the BT10 Beelzemon. So really strong, because when attacking, you may trash up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. So this is obviously once again important, because you don't have to trash all 3. It's up to 3. Because the reason why I stress this is that you don't want to be milling yourself out. So you do have that option. Then on deletion, if you have 10 or more cards in trash, you may play Beelzemon from your trash without paying its memory cost. Once again, very strong right here. If you swing into security, boom, you die, and you manage to have 10 in trash, then you just got Beelzemon out sitting there pretty nicely. We only do run that at 2 because ideally, you know, we got the new Beelzemon in slot, and this, once again, a very strong effect right here, and it is more on the when Digivolving versus when attacking. So when Digivolving, top 3 cards of your deck. So really strong. When I will go over the Tamer, you'll see why this is really strong. Then when digivolving, this Digimon gains on deletion. If there are 10 or more cards in trash, you may play one Beelzemon from your trash without paying its cost until the end of your opponent's turn. Very strong. It means that ideally you do not want to be deleting Beelzemon, or if you have evoed into Beelzemon, then Beelzemon will still carry this effect until the end of its turn, meaning that if the opponent's like, oh my god, I need to get rid of Beelzemon, it's an absolute menace. Let's go for the headshot, baby. Okay, but he's coming right back up again because this boy is just going to be floating and be able to just play himself back out, which is just, once again, the nuts. Really strong and quite easily forgettable as well. So yeah, this is why this boy is best in the slot for that. And then inheritable wise, whilst this Digimon has Wizard or Demon Lord in its traits, it gains 2000 DP, which once again, if you have got a perfect line, you're going to be swinging quite heavily. You can swing for at least 18 to 17k pretty comfortably if you've got a nice full juicy stack going on. So really solid. You do want to be running that for definitely no less. So that concludes for the ultimates. We do run that at 8. So going over to the Beelzemon line, because once again, when you get to the top end, yeah, it's pretty much Beelzemon all over with a splash of Beelstar. But let's go over the core pieces, and then I'll discuss essentially like the tech pieces. So core is going to be your EX2 Beelzemon. This is just really strong. Originally, I had it at 2. That one it, chief. That one it. Definitely want this at 3. Just having the mill and just getting Impmons out for free based on your mills is just crazy aggressive right there. Really good, because when this card is trash from your deck, you may play one Impmon from trash without paying its minimum cost. Boom. Absolutely. This is always a delight when you see this bad boy, and really fantastic even in hand, because when digivolving and when attacking, so you can digivolve, pop something, then attack, pop something, and also trash up to then 4 cards in theory on the same turn, is that you may trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards in your trash, add 1 to the maximum level of the Digimon you can choose to delete this effect. Really powerful. Endgame, like, it's just strong. It's absolutely strong. Early game, strong, just popping 3. Mid, popping 4, and then come to endgame, you pop in the 5s. Level 5s, really strong. One thing though is that D-Reaper absolutely walls this because they have no levels, so it's going to be quite hard in order for you to actually do anything apart from if you go and attack them. But if you're not visiting D-Reaper, this is once again just very solid in order for you just to be controlling the board. The one match I had against Armors was actually really good, because essentially I could break their armor and then actually get rid of them by attacking into them, which was really good. Because obviously their levels are basically level 4 or lower, so really strong there for that nice little bit of board control. Like say we like Bloom there as well. Obviously getting rid of their champions is really crucial if they're obviously trying to build out wide. So Beelzemon EX2, definitely want to be running it 3. You can push it to 4 if you want to, if you want to add a bit of consistency, but just remember you don't want to null yourself out. That's the thing. So we do run that at 3. Then we go over to the new Beelzemon. This boy is hella sick. I mean, the artwork, artists don't miss. Artists did not miss on this. So new Beelzemon, 12k DP, glorious. 40 Evo, not even a problem, because its effect actually helped out in terms of reducing that. So when digivolving, trash the top 4 cards of your deck, which once again adds that nice trash effect. Obviously if we get EX2 Beelzemon from those mills, we just swarming the board out with Impmons, which is just great. Then all turns, once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, gain a memory, and then every 10 cards in trash, you then gain an additional memory. So if you have 20, you gain 2 memory. If you have 30, you gain 3 memory. The fact that this is all turns is pretty nutty and works fantastically well when paired up with Beelzemon, giving you just maximum control just to claim back turn. It is really crazy. And the fact that it's all turns, I love the phrase all turns. And then once per turn, on my turn, is when a card is trashed from your deck, this Digimon gains security tap +1 for the turn, which is once again pretty strong, especially in combination with the new blast mode that we have, because that obviously enables you to unsuspend, meaning that it's effectively could be swinging for 4 checks. Very powerful card here. Lucky enough, we do have ways to recur this card, so it's not a problem in getting it back. And how quickly we do mill, and you know, cards that facilitate searching and so forth, we can literally just grab this card pretty easily. So we do run that at 2. Because ideally we do want to be seeing this quite often with obviously how many cards we are milling and still getting our Itmons out for that nice early aggression. But this right here is probably like more mid-game and just enables you to really wrap it up quite nicely. Then let's go over the techs. So we do still run the BT2, I did get it right, Beelzemon. This has actually really been quite helpful when I did run it. I thought it was going to be just a dead weight card, but sometimes you just need some nice heavy aggression and nice board control while still having a body out on field, and this really facilitates that, because whilst you have 10 or more cards in trash, your Impmon can digivolve into this card from your hand for memory cost of 4, ignoring its resolution requirements, which is really good, because obviously Iron Mako's effect is, you know, it triggers on digivolve, which is really handy in order for you to reduce the cost winning. Then when digivolving, you're able to delete one of your opponent's level 4 Digimon or lower, which once again just adds a nice little bit of board control, especially if they come out with like a champion kind of ready to set up. It's like, nope, nope, I've got my trash ready and I'm going into Beelzemon. So we're all good and sitting pretty nicely. Obviously, once he's kind of out, he's just out. He's not really doing anything else, but it is good to just kind of get back in the game. And the fact that we can recur this card back means that we do have options in order for us to control the board. The deck is really good at surprisingly controlling the field, just by mills, just by evos and so forth, and attacking. So really, really solid. Another good tech is going to be your BT10 Beelzemon, and this is more the crossheart variant. This is very strong because of the on-play and when digivolving there as well. So when digivolving, you may trash 3 cards from the top of your deck, winning. Then for every 10 cards in your trash, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon, which is great. If you've got 30, you can pop 3 of them. If you got 20, pop 2. Really handy for clearing out wide boards, such as Bloom Lord being quite relevant. So when it comes to like the Ultimate Cup, great board control right here if they are sitting at obviously the champion level. But 9 times out of 10, depending on how Bloom is rocking, you know, when they get to level 5, that's where it does get a little bit tricky. But regardless, it's still a great option that we can utilize, especially because the effects are on play and also when digivolving, fitting with the overall strategy. So lastly, for the last tech is going to be your Beelzemon. This card, do not sleep on it. Do not sleep on it, because it works pretty nicely with the new Beelzemon. So when you would play this card from your hand, reduce the play cost by 4, which is pretty massive, for every 10 cards in trash. So if you have 30 in trash, you could effectively play this card for 1. Even at 20, it's still a nice reasonable cost right there. And then on top of that, if you want just to evo into it, it's a cost of 3, which is sweet. But 9 times out of 10, you're probably not. It's really good for those kind of wrapping up the game right there. So all turns, once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, you may play one Impmon from your trash without paying its memory cost. Then let me start again. So the Digimon played by this effect gains Rush. Once again, absolutely steal games. Then, opponent's turn. And this isn't once per turn. When an opponent Digimon attacks, trash the top card of your deck. This actually opens a lot of windows in terms of, you know, eliminating the opponent. If you get like a blast mode from the mill effect, that has a actual mill effect of deleting a Digimon, level 3 Digimon, but then for every 10 cards in trash, you can add 1 to that level, meaning that you can effectively, you know, if you're at 20, you can pop a level 5. If you're at 30, you can pop a level 6 before the check has even happened, because you can just interrupt on this effect right here. Massive here. And the fact that it's not once per turn just kind of gives you that extra layer of security, or a possible combination of you revealing Wizardmon and stealing turn, or Death Slinger and stealing turn. Really powerful card. You don't want to be running more than 1. You could run 2, but I feel like your main strat is going to be obviously going into your Beelzemons and stop clapping those cheeks. So nice little 1 tech is pretty solid. So that concludes for the level 6. We do run 8, which is a little bit high, but realistically, like I say, this boy is putting in work when milled. So then let's go over to the level 7. So let's reveal obviously the main new bit of squeeze that we do have, and that's going to be your Beelzemon Blast Mode from the new starter deck. This is effectively your finisher. Really powerful card right here. Played right, you can just be doing a lot of offensive damage. But as well, seeing him from a mill effect is actually pretty nice there too, in order for you to kind of control the board. So when this card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's a level 3 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards in trash, add 1 to the maximum level that you can choose to delete. So once again, really powerful. End game, you just don't want to be bumping into this boy, because he can absolutely take out a level 6 right there. And then, I mean, by the odd chance that you are sitting at 40 cards in trash, level 7, pretty big, pretty huge. That does not happen often. I'm just saying that right now. So then, when digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. Beautiful, absolutely winning. And then if you have 20 or more cards in trash, gain free memory, meaning that this is effectively costing you 1, depending on how many Tamers you got going out. You could effectively, you could gain memory, which is just massive. It's just really strong. It's an absolutely strong white card right here. Definitely, like I say, your game ender. We do run that at 2. Originally, I did have this at 3, but I felt like it was a little bit bricky. It was a little bit bricky. Great on the mills, but sometimes it's only great if there's actually something to pop. If it's not, it's just kind of like, well, that was a bit of a waste. But I feel like 2 is just a nice amount, because we still run the nice one of the EX2 Blast Mode. And I feel like this still has a lot of relevance, even though you don't run Iron Mako from the EX2. We still can kind of reduce the cost of it, depending obviously on your Tamer setup. But we do like its kind of board control that it has, because when this card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So unfortunately, it can't basically increase its deletion effect based on how many cards you got in trash. But when digivolving, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. This is actually quite relevant in this current format, because we like to say we do have like decks like Bloomlord, which like to kind of sit with Bloomlords and then a Hydramon, which just kind of gatekeeps you completely out of the game. It means that if you go into blast mode, you can pretty much just wipe that whole board setup right there that they've got, which they've tried to suppress you with, which is once again pretty strong for a nice bit of board control. And then your turn. For every 10 cards in trash, this Digimon gains security attack +1. So if it's at 30, it gains additional secure attack plus 3, meaning that it's swinging for 4 checks, which is massive. It really adds that nice bit of aggression, which effectively the other one does, but it does it in a way that you have to multi-swing, versus this one you can just literally just go for the massive swing. It's very situational, but I still feel like it does have a nice little bit of relevance. If you have it, I think just slot it in. If you don't, you can easily just go with 3 of the new blast mode. It's definitely not a problem out there, but I still like this nice little big body, especially if it's in security. 15k, woo! You don't want to be bumping into that, let's just say that. So that concludes it for the Digimon, running 37 in total. So let's go over the Tamer and options, because these play a massive part in this build now. So the new Iron Mako, free cost. Honestly, this card is so good for this deck. It is like Cool Boy. It is like Cool Boy, but it really just works with the deck really well. Originally, I did have 3 of these and 1 of the EX2 Iron Mako, but I felt like when I had the EX2 Iron Mako, I just played it, it was just there. It was like great, it is a memory setter, it's fantastic, but it was literally it. It really didn't help me kind of unbrick, versus this, it helps me unbrick, because on play, reveal top 4 cards of your deck, then add 1 Digimon with Evil, Wizard, or Demon Lord in its traits amongst them to your hand, then place at the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So really good for you to kind of unbrick whilst getting worth later on, because your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into a purple Digimon, you may suspend this Tamer, return 1 card from your hand to the top of your deck, and gain a memory. Once again, effectively acting like a better Cool Boy, because it doesn't necessarily require you to evolve to the same level. It just requires you to put a card back on the top of your deck in order to get this, which we have cards that kind of gain us memory once we evo, and we're doing trash effects on those evos, which means that, say, like if you put Beelzemon on top of your deck, go into Witchmon, suspend this. Well, you would have suspended before, you would have put Beelzemon on there. You would gain that 1 memory, and then you would trash, reveal Wizardmon, you gain a memory. Effectively, the evos cost you nothing, which is just really strong. Once we get once we get BT12 cards, and we evo in for free anyway, and we're suspending Iron Mako, honestly, the worth is going to be crazy right there. Really do want to be running this at 4. Such a delight getting it. And once again, really helps you kind of unbrick, because nothing's worse when you're kind of like at the top end of just having like the Beelzemons in your hand, and you can't really do much, being the thing. So that really does help in terms of just having a nice searcher and able you to kind of execute further plays. So going over to the options, so we do run 3 missed memory boosts. This just helps once again unbreak, get some momentum if you're kind of a bit slow, and then kind of secures you doing something next turn, which is great. Obviously, if we do push out of raising and we happen to have our Impmon ready to go in, or we want to kind of evo into our champions, you know, we can effectively just pop the delay and gain 2 memory, and then evo, suspend your Tamer, put something on top of your deck, gain a memory, and then so forth, get your mill effects and all that good stuff. So really powerful card here, really just help out with the strategy. If you can squeeze in 3, I think you're pretty comfortable in terms of securing getting a lot of cards in trash, because you do want to be effectively at least getting to 10 cards quite quickly, and then if you're sitting at 20, that is definitely going to be chef's kiss right there. So we do run that at 3. Then we do run the Death Slinger at 3. Really great removal, cheap. Like I say, quickly we do want to be getting our trash up fast, because it means that we can get this out live, popping 5Ks at least when it's obviously at 10, and then if it's at 20, you're popping 6Ks. And then if you're at 30, you're popping everything. You're popping 7Ks, not 7Ks, level 7s. My apologies, level 7s, level 6, and level 5s. Which is just really solid. And then if it's trashed from your deck, you gain a memory, which is once again really good. We have in total up to 7 cards. Yeah, 7 cards that we can effectively put on top of our deck when we're using our Tamer in order for us to gain memory once it's been milled. Really, really solid card. You could easily justify to run it at 4 if you want to, but I think 3 is just a solid amount. Last but not least is going to be your Rivals Barrage, and then we are sitting this at 3. Obviously, we do only get 2 per start deck, so you would have to get a second one, but 3 is really, really nice. This card just is so versatile. It's crazy at what it can do. So let's read it out. So when this card is trashed from your deck, you may place this in your battle area. So that's where you'll be able to trigger the delay effect from there. But if it's in your hand, main, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level, being the main thing. You do not put this then in your battle area. It's only a pure deletion effect if you use it from your hand. But if it's then being trashed from your deck, you're able to trigger the delay. So you can one minute. So here we go. So delay. Return one of your purple Digimon cards or Tamer card from your trash to your hand. This is just like a better memory boost in a way. It's not gaining you memory, but you just have full access to whatever card you want apart from options. You're laughing. You are laughing. You are setting up plays. If you were like, oh man, I've not got a champion, Rivals Barrage, pop off time, because this just helps you unbrick so nicely, and this is why you want to be running more than 2, is because it's just that good. It is that good. And then in security, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. It's just great. Like, seeing the security, beautiful, comes clutch. See it off a mill, banging, comes clutch. If it's in your hand, depending on the board state, can come clutch, but sometimes it can be a bit of a brick. Though, Iron Mako, once again, we can just, on Digivolve, suspend that, place this on top of your deck, then if you've gone into Witchmon, boom, activate the trash effect, put this into your battle area because it's been milled from your deck. So it's great ways to obviously get this placement, pop in a really good target for Iron Mako. Seriously, the combos that you can perform with this deck is so fun, but it's one of those where try not get lost in the combos and forget about the opponent's board state, because it can happen a lot, because there's just so much interactions that are happening. But minus all that, it is a very fun deck. I've not had this much fun with a deck for a while. I've been playing Beelzemon like through and through, and let me tell you, I did go to a locals that wasn't really my locals, Living Realms, and I think that was like the point where I'm just like, I need a break from Beelzemon. I need a break. These bricks, I can't take them no more. I need something just kind of fresh and different, and this is just so hitting that mark. It is so fun. But I would say it's quite a, I won't say a high skill ceiling, but there's a lot of interactions and a lot of play that you do just need to think about in order to utilize the deck to its full capability. So just practice, practice, practice. But one thing I can say, guys, is that you are not going to be disappointed with this product. So if this is the video, I'm doing my intro again. So if you enjoyed the video and the deck profile, make sure you smash it over a like as standard. Like I say, really enjoyed this deck. Absolutely fun. You will not be disappointed. So peace out. Much love. Subscribe. And I'm out.